Hi everyone! I get asked a lot by different people, how should I pick my puppy from a litter? What should I look out for? So I thought I'm going to share my thoughts on this with you guys. We often hear that we should, within a litter of puppies, pick the one who's the most confident, the most outgoing, the most fun-loving, and I do not necessarily agree with that. It's very important to realize that a litter of puppies is a very small contained group, and whatever behavior a dog shows compared to the rest of this group does not really define where he is as an absolute characteristic. Here's an example. Border Collies, like Fusion, are a pretty high energy, crazy breed. So if you have a litter of Border Collie puppies, naturally there's going to be a craziest one and the one who's the least crazy. Maybe he even seems a little bit boring, and laid back compared to his litter mates. Now compared to the rest of the dogs in the world, he probably still is in the 90th percentile in terms of how crazy he is. You might probably not want to get the wildest Border Collie from a Border Collie litter for your first Border Collie, okay? He might actually be way too much, way more than you were asking for. The same applies for being shy. If you have a litter from well-bred parents that has been brought up with a lot of thought, just naturally there is going to be a puppy in that litter who, compared to his litter mates, looks the most shy. Now, you want to really assess this. Do not just say who is the last one to greet a person. As long as that puppy actually goes and greets the person, he might just be a very outgoing, happy puppy, not just as bold as his litter mates. Compared to the rest of the puppies in the world, he might actually be very outgoing and not shy at all. So when looking at a litter of puppies, keep in mind that this is a very small, contained group, and try and see them compared to all dogs. This is why there are several standardized tests that are done with puppies where you expose them to certain stimuli, like for example, you would put each one alone in a room and then open an umbrella and assess their response. This way you can see them in an isolated setting and truly just see the individual dog instead of looking at the group and always comparing them within the group and assessing them in comparison to the litter mates, because I think that's not always fair. So when you're looking at a litter of puppies, instead of saying I want to have the boldest, the most outgoing, the craziest, the first one to leave the litter box, and so on, I would recommend to rather look at each dog as an individual and not in comparison to the litter mates. If the breeder of the litter that you're looking at allows it, it would be really great to assess them individually in some settings where it's just the puppy and the tester and the things that he gets exposed to. That way you will get a much clearer picture of his temperament instead of when you're just looking at the puppy in the group.